Hi folks, thanks again for joining me for another watercolour demonstration. I'm Stephen Cronin and this is a very simple coastal scene. I'll show you using a very limited palette. I only use 4 colours for this one. I'll show you the colours in a minute. Plus, just what have I used? I've used just 3 brushes and a plastic card just to scrape a few rocks out and create a few little yachts there along the horizon. So let's have a look at the colours I've used for this one. So the palette, of the 7 colours, I've just used the ultramarine, Payne's grey, alizarin crimson and a little bit of raw sienna. That's it, just the 3 colours. And then the brushes, as always, most of it's done with a large rancid hake. And then I've got a couple of riggers here, a number 3 rigger, and then just a little size 0. I think I just used that for the birds. Just like to take this opportunity to show you my new book that's available on Amazon. This is Watercolour Painting Made Simple Volume 4 by myself, Stephen Cronin. Packed with loads and loads of photographs just to take you through each painting. I've tried to simplify it as much as I could. So that's available on Amazon in hardback, softback and Kindle. So a quick coat of clean water, bit of raw sienna, a little bit of alizarin crimson in there as well. Let's brush that down, trying to leave gaps as I work my way down the paper. And brushing in from the sides. I'm going to quick clean, bit of ultramarine, a little bit of Payne's grey in there, only a touch. Brush a little bit of blue into the sky. Just catching that water as it works its way down the paper. The big drips. Leave that a bit lighter up there, I think. Let's have something like clouds or something working their way down there. And again, reflect some of that colour, or quite a lot of that colour as it works out, down into the water below. And we're just keeping that nice bit of light. Mixing a bit of ultramarine, a bit of Payne's grey, a bit of alizarin crimson. I'm just sort of making a few little clouds in the sky, a few more on this side. Right then, let's put in some background. Let's start something like that. Some distant hills. And then come in slightly closer. Just touch the corner of the brush into the water just to bring the hairs back together and loosen some of the paint. And then this is a little bit closer. Let's just fill that gap in there. Just bits of land that are popping out. Right, let's give that a quick, actually let's just, yeah, I'll pull it tight first and then I'll give it a quick dry. Quick dry with the hairdryer. Quickly grab this. Actually no, I was too late. I was trying to catch it before. Hang on, I'll just show you now. Just using a clean brush. I don't know if I'm going to make this worse or not, but I didn't like the way that was turning out. Let's just create a bit of cloud up there, a bit of texture in the sky. Right. I want to get darker now, so let's use a bit of alizarin, a bit of Payne's grey, bit of ultramarine. So I've only used the 4 colours, and I'll stick with those. I ain't going to use any more now. Right then, now just want to come slightly darker on some of these now. And because I've dried that layer beforehand, this should go over the top of it and create a bit more stronger tones. So I'm just using bringing all the hairs together. It's like sort of chisel effect as best I can on this, because this brush is getting pretty well worn now, so might need a new one soon, but it'll keep me going for a little bit longer. So as long as I can keep getting straight edges, when I can't get a straight edge, then I have to get a new one then. And just about do it at the moment. Just work those way down into the foreground. If I find any of the same length coming out, I'll just alter them slightly. I don't want them all the same. I'm trying to get it as much variation as I possibly can. Although I didn't vary the colour much there, did I? That was a bit rubbish. But let's just scrape a few rocks into it. And then some big ones there. This is still a bit wet actually, but we might just get away with it. Just push down, just make these just a little bit smaller. Just painting over the bottom of them just to make them a little bit smaller so that they appear a little bit further away. Right, let's make sure that's get that flat against there. Is that a quick dry? Hang on, can I get any? I'm just wondering if I can get any like pebbles in the foreground. Just little pebbles catching the light as it shines on the coastline. Just little dots. I'm just using the very corner. This is a sharp edge. Got a sharp corner. The other one I use is a little bit rounded. Helps you get different types of effects. You just need to experiment really and see what you can do. Never be afraid to experiment. Right, now it's a nice simple scene, so I'm just going to put some simple little boats in. So first I'm going to find a clean pot. I should use a clean bit of kitchen roll really, but I can't be bothered to go in the kitchen and grab one. So I'm just going to find a clean part on there. I'm going to take a number 3 rigger, and then because I need quite a dark section, and I'm just going to do a little triangle shape. Now the darker the background, the better this will show up. A bit too much water on there actually. It's not very dark, this background, so it's not showing up very as well as I'd like it to actually. So if I was doing it into there, it would show up really well. But so I'm just compensating that. I'm sort of instinctively, I don't know if this is right or not, just making it a little bit bigger I want to get a nice pointy top. Right, actually, let's pop another one there. I'm going to go for another big one. So all I'm doing, I'm just loosening the paint, getting back down to the white of the paper, and then pressing down with the tissue. And they tend to look good in three, so let's do another one, but I don't want them all the same distance away, so this one's a little bit further away. I'm doing it a little bit smaller, just to give the impression of distance. That one showed up pretty well. Let's just pop I'm just going to pop a little base to them. Right, so I have three little boats. I might switch to this little size 0 brush that I don't really like. I want to get another one but with longer hairs. I don't like these short ones. I'm going to do a few birds there flying around, and then I was going to sign it there, but that's the focal point. I never sign it by the focal point. I think that's one of the rules we're all supposed to follow. So I tend to sign it away from the opposite side to the focal point. So I'm going to have to go straight into this light red because I'm painting it into the dark. So it still shows up quite nicely. So I'm going to call that one done. So let's stick a frame on it and see what it looks like. Finished painting the mount. Let's have a closer look. So the sky, we've got just the four colours basically in the entire painting. You can see the raw sienna, the ultramarine, the alizarin crimson, and a little bit of Payne's grey, and then a little bit of various mixes. That was all brought down into the foreground, brushed in from either side. See, I've kept this lighter section here, just trying to reflect some of the sky area down in the water below. Just use the hake brush and various mixes of the four colours, try and create these little clouds just hovering above our little coastline. Don't be afraid to leave big white gaps in your skies. It's so tempting to just paint them in, but keep the variation, it always looks better. So you can see the distant headland there put in, and then the second layer a little bit closer and a little bit darker, which I've scraped the rocks into, and they work their way right across. And you can see I've sort of used the sort of chisel edged hake just to dab little areas there coming out into the sea, and scraped a few rocks there just using the plastic card. You can imagine the lights coming from up here and just catching the left hand side of the rocks. You sort of automate without even trying, you sort of get shadows on the opposite side. Always works pretty well, the card. Little pebbles there in the foreground. And then if I'd have darkened this lower area, they might have stood out a little bit better. They ain't too bad, but just loosen the paint and then just took out with a tissue these three little yachts there, just to give a focal point to the scene. And then always room for a few little seagulls there flying overhead. Well, I hope you enjoy that. Thanks for watching. Thanks as always for your support. Remember, there's loads and loads more. Well, there's over 150 videos over on Patreon if you just can't get enough of them. Remember, the book's on Amazon, paintings on eBay. All the links are in the description. So keep practicing. If you've got any comments or questions, just leave them down below, and I'll see you again soon.